White made a move. King g1. Pause the video and try to find black's next move. Queen takes c1 check. Bishop d1. Rook e2. Queen d8 check. King a7. Queen d4 check. On c5. Black intends to play pawn takes d4 and dominate the board. Queen takes f6 played by white. Queen takes d1 check. King h2. Black is clearly ahead. Let's go to the next game. White played. Rook takes g4. Pause the video to analyze black's next move. Queen takes e3 check. King h1. Knight f2 check. Queen takes f2. Queen takes f2. Rook takes g7 check. King f8. Black is preparing to play. Rook d1 check. Rook takes d1. Queen f3 check. King g1. Queen takes d1 check. Knight f1. King takes g7 and establish a winning position. Rook takes b7 played by white. Queen f3 check. King g1. Queen takes b7. Rook f1. White is struggling to keep up. Let's go to the next game. Black just played. Knight takes d5. Pause the video to spot white's next move. Rook ac1 check. King d8. Black is preparing to play pawn takes g3 and take decisive advantage. Queen a3 move preferred by white. White wants to play. Queen d6 check. King e8. Rook c8 mate and increase their advantage significantly. Knight b4 was chosen by black. Black wants to play pawn takes g3 and seize the initiative. Bishop e5 was chosen by white. Rook g6. Rook e3. White wants to play queen takes b4 and increase their advantage significantly. Pawn takes g3 played by black. Rook takes g3. On f6. Bishop takes f6 check. King e8. Rook c8 check. King d7. Black intends to play. Rook takes g3 check. Queen takes g3. Rook takes g3 check. Pawn takes g3. Queen takes g3 check and seize the initiative. Rook takes g8 move preferred by white. Rook takes g8. Bishop e5. Rook takes g3 check. Bishop takes g3. Knight d5. Queen takes a7. Queen g4. Black's loss is confirmed. Let's go to the next game. White made a move. Knight e6. Pause the video to find out black's response. Pawn takes e4 check. King f2. Bishop e3 check. King takes e3. Queen g3 check. King takes e4. Queen takes g2 check. King e3. Queen g3 check. King d2. Queen f2 check. King d1. Queen f3 check. King d2. White considers playing rook h7 mate and seize the initiative. Queen takes a8 played by black. Rook h2. King g8. Black is planning to play. Queen f3. Rook h6. Queen f2 check. King d1. Queen g1 check and secure a stronghold in the game. Rook f2 was chosen by white. Queen c6. Pawn d4. Pawn takes d4. King d3. Black has a strong upper hand. Let's go to the next game. White made a move. Queen takes c5. Pause the video to analyze black's next move. White is setting up to play. Pawn d6. Queen h4. Queen takes c4 check and seize the initiative. Queen h4 move preferred by black. Black is preparing to play Queen f2 mate and dominate the board. Pawn g3 was chosen by white. Queen h3 check. King e1. Queen h2. Bishop takes h7 check. Queen takes h7. Queen b6. Rook e8. Black wants to play Queen c2. Queen d4. Queen f2 check. King d1. Pawn e2 check. King c1. Pawn promotes to rook at e1 check. Queen d1. Queen e3 check and secure a strong hold in the game. Queen b2 played by white. Pawn takes g3. Pawn d6. Pawn g2. Black is setting up to play Queen h4 check. King d1. Queen f2. Queen e2. Queen takes g1 check and increase their advantage significantly. Queen e2 played by white. White intends to play Queen takes c4 check and increase their advantage significantly. Queen d3 was chosen by black. Black is planning to play Queen takes c3 check and establish a winning position. Queen takes d3 move preferred by white. Pawn takes d3. Rook takes g2. Rook b8. Black is looking to play Rook b1 mate and put immense pressure on the opponent. Rook d2 was chosen by white. Pawn takes d2 check. King takes d2. Black has a strong upper hand. Let's go to the next game. Black just played Queen a4. Pause the video and try to find white's next move. Queen f7 check. King d6. Queen takes g7. Pawn h5. Rook f7. White is preparing to play Rook d7 check. King c6. Rook c7 check. King d6. Queen d7 check. King e5. Rook takes h5 check and dominate the board. Rook ac8 move preferred by black. Pawn takes h5. Queen b3. Rook a7. Queen 4. Queen d7 check. King e5. Rook f2. Bishop f3. Queen g7 check. King d6. Black's idea is to play Queen d1 mate and increase their advantage significantly. Pawn b3 was chosen by white. Pawn d2 check. Rook takes d2. Pawn takes b3. Queen f6 check. Rook e6. Black's idea is to play Rook takes f6. Rook d4. Queen f5. Pawn h6. Rook takes h6. Rook f7. Queen d8. Knight d2 and take decisive advantage. Queen takes f3 was chosen by white. Queen e4. White is dominating the board. Let's go to the next game. White just played Bishop takes d5. Pause the video and try to find black's next move. Bishop takes c3. Bishop takes f7 check. King h8. Black's idea is to play Rook takes e1. Rook takes e1. Queen d2. Knight f3. Queen takes h6 and take decisive advantage. Rook takes d8 played by white. Rook takes d8. Bishop d5. White's idea is to play Knight f7 check. King g8. Knight takes d8 check. Bishop e6. Rook takes e6. Rook takes d8. Rook e8 mate and seize the initiative. Rook d7 was chosen by black. Rook g1. White is preparing to play Knight f7 check. King g8. Knight d6 check. King h8. Knight a2. Rook takes d6. Bishop takes a8 and increase their advantage significantly. Pawn takes b4 was chosen by black. Bishop takes a8. Pawn a3. Black is looking to play. Pawn b3. Bishop g7 check. King takes g7. Knight e6 check. King g8. Rook c1. Pawn a2 mate and increase their advantage significantly. Bishop e4 move preferred by white. Bishop takes e4. Knight takes e4. Pawn a2 check. King takes a2. Rook a7 check. King b3. Rook a3 check. King c4. Rook a1. Black is planning to play rook takes g1 and gain a significant edge. Knight takes c3 move preferred by white. Pawn takes c3. King takes c3. Rook takes g1. King takes b2. Rook takes g2. King b3. Rook takes f2. Pawn c4. White is on the verge of defeat. Let's go to the next game. Black played. Knight takes f to pause the video and try to find white's next move. Black wants to play knight takes d3 and increase their advantage significantly. Queen e2 played by white. White is planning to play pawn takes e7 and put immense pressure on the opponent. Queen f5 was chosen by black. Queen e6 check. Queen takes e6. Pawn takes e6. Knight e4. Pawn takes e7. Rook a2 check. King f1. Knight d2 check. King e2. Knight takes c4 check. King d3. Knight b2 check. King d4. White is aiming to play pawn promotes to rook at ex f8 check and establish a winning position. Rook e8 played by black. Knight d6. Rook a8. Knight takes e8. Rook takes e8. Rook d7. White is looking to play rook d8. Rook takes d8 check. Pawn promotes to queen at ex d8 check and increase their advantage significantly. King g7 played by black. King d5. Knight d1. Bishop d4 check. King h6. King e5. Knight e3. King f6. White is looking to play King f7. Knight f5. Bishop c5. Pawn g5. Rook d1. Rook b8. Rook h1 check. Knight h4. Pawn promotes to bishop at e8 and put immense pressure on the opponent. Knight f5 played by black. Bishop c5. Knight g7. Rook d8. Pawn g5. Pawn b5. White is aiming to play pawn b6. Pawn g4. Pawn takes g4. Rook takes e7. King takes e7 and dominate the board. Rook takes e7 was chosen by black. Bishop takes e7. Knight h5 check. White has a strong upper hand. Let's go to the next game. White just played. Bishop e2. Pause the video to spot black's next move. Bishop e4 check. Bishop d3. White is aiming to play bishop takes e4 and seize the initiative. Queen d6 played by black. Knight c2. White's idea is to play bishop takes e4 and seize the initiative. Bishop takes d3 move preferred by black. On a3. Queen d5. Black is preparing to play Queen b3 check. Bishop b2. Queen takes b2 mate and increase their advantage significantly. Rook a2 was chosen by white. Rook d8. Black is planning to play Queen b3 check. Rook b2. Bishop takes b2 and seized the initiative. Rook e1 was chosen by white. Bishop c3. Black considers playing bishop takes e1 and gain a significant edge. Rook g1 move preferred by white. Queen b3 check. Rook b2. Bishop takes b2. Bishop takes b2. On h4. Black considers playing. On h3. Queen d2. Bishop e4. Queen h2. On f5. Rook c1. On b6 and establish a winning position. Rook e1 played by white. On h3. Black might go for Rook g8. On b5. On h2 and secure a stronghold in the game. Queen d2 move preferred by white. Bishop e4. Black's idea is to play Rook takes d2. Rook c1. Bishop d5. Rook e1. Queen takes c2 check. King a1. Queen takes b2 mate and put immense pressure on the opponent. Queen f2 was chosen by white. On f5. Black is aiming to play Rook g8. Rook takes e4. On takes e4 and take decisive advantage. Rook c1 move preferred by white. Rook g8. Black is looking to play Rook g2. Queen d4. On b6. Queen c3. Queen takes c3 and establish a winning position. Queen takes a7 played by white. Rook g2. Queen a8 check. King d7. Rook d1 check. Bishop d5. Rook takes d5 check. Queen takes d5. Knight d4. On h2. Queen h8. Rook g1 check. King c2. On promotes to queen at h1. Black is setting up to play Rook g2 check. King c3. Queen takes h8. King d3. Queen h3 mate and gain a significant edge. Queen takes h1 move preferred by white. Rook takes h1. On b5 black is clearly ahead. Let's go to the next game. Black just played Rook c2. Pause the video and try to find white's next move. Queen d5 check. King h8. Black is setting up to play Queen e3 check. Queen f3. Queen takes f3 check. King h4. Rook h2 mate and establish a winning position. On g5 played by white. White intends to play Queen a8 check. Rook c8. Queen takes c8 check. King h7. On g6 mate and take decisive advantage. On takes g5 was chosen by black. Bishop takes g7 check. King takes g7. Queen takes g5 check. King h8. Queen h6 check. King g8. Queen g6 check. King h8. Black is aiming to play Queen h1 check. King g4. Rook g2 check. King f5. Rook takes g6 and seize the initiative. Queen takes c2 move preferred by white. Queen e6 check. King h4. Queen takes d6. Queen f5. Queen d8 check. Queen g5. White wants to play Queen takes d8 check and seize the initiative. Queen f8 move preferred by black. Queen e5 check. King h7. Queen c7 check. King h8. King g5. On a6. Queen e5 check. King g8. Queen e6 check. Queen f7. Queen takes f7 check. King takes f7. On f5. On the 5. On h6. On b5. On f6. King e6. King g6. On b4. On f7. On a4. On promotes to queen at f8. White considers playing. On h7. King d5. On promotes to queen at h8 and gain a significant edge. On b3 white has a strong upper hand. Let's go to the next game.